My chair up, so we're just rolling all over here.
Hey,
everyone. Welcome to comicspriceguide.com presents Tales from the Geek. I am Aaron the Mechanic.
I'm just Bobby.
And we got news and we got comics. We got stuff going on. So welcome.
Yeah.
And if I start rolling all over the place, I apologize ahead of time. I raised my seat, which is great, but I feel like I want to roll now.
I'm just waiting for her to just slide off screen.
Slowly slide across. Bye.
I mean, that's a good stream joke. That's a great stream joke. Anyways, hey everyone.
But we've got a lot of news today.
Yeah.
I will say probably top one on my list. You won't be surprised about this, but the Mandalorian 3 trailer dropped.
Yes.
Season 3 is coming out March 1st. It is so close.
Absolutely. Dang. Excited. Yeah, absolutely. It looks like it'll be interesting. I've also heard that there's like a concern it's going to have some like Book of Boba Fett issues, but at the same time, like Book of Boba Fett was really good at heart as well. Right. Even if it wasn't quite Mandalorian, it was a different thing. It was still really good. So
you know what I just realized when I was looking up news tonight, I realized that I told Alex, I'm like, we didn't finish Andor. Like we still didn't finish. Like we were watching as it was coming out and then just completely got sidetracked. So
I know the housemates both finished Andor recently and thought it was top
notch. I mean, it was amazing. Yeah. I mean, it's been amazing from what we were only like 3 episodes in, and it had been amazing so far. So I expect it to continue to be good. Well, let us know if you're excited for The Mandalorian, if you watched Boba Fett, if you like Andor. We want to know.
Yeah, absolutely.
How do you feel? So another trailer dropped. Tales. Hey, Voodoo.
Hey, Voodoo.
In the house. Welcome. We're just going through some news. We talked about the Mandalorian trailer dropping. And then, Mando. That's right, Googs.
Hey, good to see you, Googs.
Another trailer that dropped was Gotham Knights on the CW. So March 14th is when that launches, and it's about like Batman. I think he dies, but whatever. Batman falls, and it's like, well, then who will rise?
Yeah, so, I mean, there's been a recent video game, Gotham Knights, that came out recently. That focuses on basically the exact same concept. So crazy. I'm intrigued.
In the trailer, like not spoilers because it's a trailer, but there's like a young kid and he's like, well, they think that I killed my father to take his money or whatever. So I think maybe it's Batman's kid. I'm not sure.
I mean, Damian Wayne is absolutely and it's the Robin.
There we go.
It's all of the various Robin proteges who are rising to that. Like, yeah, honestly, if it's following any of the game's history, we've got Tim Drake, we've got Dick Grayson, we've got Jason Todd, we've got Barbara Gordon. There we go. Yeah, it's those 4.
So it looks like others had seen the Mandalorian trailer and thought it was awesome. Yeah, I watched it real quick, and I need to go back and finish the season 2 again. I watched all of season 2, but I didn't remember them being reunited for some reason. So don't hit me hard for that one. So let's see. Oh, Moon Girl and Devil Dino. So Disney Channel, they released a new. This is like Trailer City over here. We've had a lot of new trailers released.
Yeah.
But, the one for Moon Girl and Devil Dino, that trailer dropped as well.
I haven't seen the full trailer.
You haven't actually? I haven't seen the trailer yet either. I just know it dropped. I watched I watched Mando and I watched Gotham Knights, but I missed Moon Girl and Devil.
Oh, right. Aaron, the reunion wasn't Boba Fett.
Oh, that's what. That makes sense because I haven't finished that.
Yeah, okay. Din Djarin and Gorgu.
That makes me feel so much better because I was like, how did I miss that? I don't remember them being united. Okay.
No, what I haven't seen the official trailer. What I have seen is a TikTok short of an actual Moon Girl, what looks like animated Moon Girl Devil Dinosaur fight scene, and I'm just like. And the thing is, it's Moon Girl. If you didn't know this, Moon Girl is great in Marvel Comics because she is considered one of the top 10 smartest people on the planet, and she's like 7. I can't remember her
13.
age.
Maybe she's
yeah, she's really young comparatively. And we're including Reed Richards, we're including Tony Stark, we're including
I love it. Little genius.
We're including Bruce Banner. Like, she's up there. She's really good, really smart. And then she has a T-Rex for some reason. I've never actually fully understood where she got him from.
Why not? And it's, you know what, it makes so much sense. So I play, and I've told you guys on this show a lot, I play Marvel Snap. It's like phone game or whatnot. But it's funny because those two cards complement each other really well. Absolutely. And now I know why. I was like, oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, they are a team in the show. But
so they're a great team in the deck as well. So
the fight I saw was choreographed to like a Childish Gambino, and it was like weirdly a music video at the same time. And I'm like, this is sick.
Epic. So well, it comes on, so this is interesting how they're launching this. They're doing Disney Channel February 10th, and then Disney Plus on February 15th. So there you go. If you're still watching cable like a normal person, I guess, then you can check it out there. But me, I'm a streamer. That's pretty much all I do now. So
I'll catch it.
Yeah. So February 15th is when you can catch it. But pretty pumped about that. Let's see. Ooh, reboot. This is more like a rumor alert, but not too much of a rumor. Apparently, it's been happening for a long time. Malcolm in the Middle. They mentioned that they're having talks about doing a reboot, and it could just be a reboot movie. But apparently, oh gosh, what's his name from the dad? What? Oh my gosh, I can't believe I can't remember his name.
It's Bryan Cranston.
He's been helping to actually write the script for this already. So we'll see if it comes to fruition. But
I mean, it's got to be Bryan Cranston because, I mean, yes. Thank you.
Oh, yeah. Here it is. I have it written down, guys. I even have Bryan Cranston written down.
I have just Breaking Bad stuck in my head, and I'm still like, man.
All I kept thinking was Frankie Muniz, and I'm like, no, it's not Frankie. It's not him.
It's not him. Yeah.
Thank you. I had that written down, too. I don't know. But anyway, so he's been working on the writing and developing the reboot. So we'll see if it ends up happening. But they are at least talking about it. So if you were a fan, I mean, they were, top TV sitcom back in the day. So speaking of top TV sitcom, didn't even mean for this. It's not a sitcom, but top TV show. Back in the day and still now, people love it. Power Rangers. They are having their 30-year anniversary. 30 years. So of course, hello, Panther Rose. Good seeing you. Of course, they're going to be doing a new launch. If you haven't checked it out, they've got their new suits, their new outfits that they'll be doing for Power Ranger Cosmic Fury. So they'll be out of this world, fighting people from across the galaxy. And right now they're doing Dino Fury. So Xavier's been all about it. And I just was laughing so hard because it's like, I looked up and I go, oh, he's watching Power Rangers. Like, I remember that show. I'm like, wait, these are new characters. Oh, this is the new one, but it very, very similar plot. Let me tell you.
I mean, some of the more recent Power Rangers have gotten super meta because I know like one of the more recent Power Rangers was literally just, hey, well, it's not literally just, it's a whole thing, but one of their things is they have the ability to like channel past Rangers.
Yes.
So suddenly it's just like, what? You're just pulling all of your old stuff back. What? Yeah,
they're going to have a big showcase for their 30th anniversary. Yeah, this is going to be even bigger. So we'll see how it pans out. Hey, Leroy. We connect over on Voodoo Lily's streams on usually on the Saturday stream that she does. Yeah, good to see you over here. Thanks for popping on.
Good to see everybody. Hey.
Yeah. Malcolm meets Cody Banks, said Chad. That's back there. Excellent Alpha 5 reference. Okay, so if you are a Dead Space fan, this is a short but sweet message that John Carpenter had hinted at an upcoming Dead Space film. So don't know much info besides that rumor mill, but no, we don't love to do a bunch of rumors here, but I would be a fan.
You've got some good ones.
I had to mention it. Yeah. And if so, you heard it here, folks. And if not, then you didn't hear it here.
We said nothing. What are you talking about?
Nothing was said. Nothing at all. Okay, another fun one. Attack on Titans. So they're actually coming up to the last chapters on this. Can you believe that?
I know, it's crazy.
Blows my mind. It's broken into 2 parts. You know how people do nowadays.
The final seasons are always like 2 or 3 parts at this point. But
Gotta
no.
Gotta break it into 2 seasons. Like Harry Potter had to break it into two movies. That last book.
I mean, yeah. But like at heart, you know, that show is a very weird, dark show at heart, fundamentally.
Oh,
so yeah.
Not just that, it's getting like, I mean, I didn't think that show could get much darker because if you watch Attack on Titans or read it, then
it's not a kid's
like,
thing in any way.
Very dark. But now that it's getting to the end, like they you don't know how it's going to pan out because they're going to have to go against their friend potentially, or what's going to happen when they get to see him. So there's just no good ending to this. Also, the whole time Titans are trying to eat you alive and in a very gruesome way. I remember the first time I watched one of those episodes, like the very first death that happened. Yeah. It's just like, this is a cartoon?
This is brutal. I mean, anime's been like that for,
not for kids.
There's been the darker animes for a long time, but Attack on Titan was like the first one, not like the first one, but like the first big one I know that like hit American mainstream audiences in the most recent genre that went like, yeah, by the way, this is dark. Deal.
Yeah, very dark. Oh, yeah. And like, one of the lead characters will like just die out of nowhere and you had no idea. You're just like, what is this, Game of Thrones? But just kidding. All right.
Yeah, no problem.
Last piece of news, unless you have anything to add, Bobby. But the League of Legends, so season 13, it's been off to a pretty rocky start. It's sad because it had a really smooth preseason, but it had a poor reception here recently. So bad that Riot had to promise, that they're going to balance the changes of actually some of the gameplay and the graphics versus just patches and updates. So
no, absolutely. Look, I heard from League of Legends, and it's not my game. I have some friends who used to be into it, and they just kind of pay attention, but they're still like, hey, by the way, just so you know, there's a guy who's figured out that there's a combination of items that you can buy that'll just auto kill your character. And I'm like, what? This is League. It's like a functional, like this is a good company with like a functional QA team. How did this get through? How is this in season?
How does this happen? Why?
How does this get all the way to players?
Shouldn't you know you can't buy that combination or it's a self-destruct button?
Like, what the heck? So I just heard that, and like, don't get me wrong, I'm playing Fortnite, and Fortnite's had its glitches and serious things, and like, don't get me wrong, but like at the same time, craziness, absolutely insanity. I don't have anything super big other than I have opinions on the leaks about the Dungeons and Dragons OGL.
Ooh,
yeah.
What's your hot take?
The open gaming license and all that jazz. Have you?
I didn't even know that was happening.
Okay, so this gets weird and deep into the D&D and RPG side of things. And you remember when I was back at Dragon's Lair, that's one of my actual areas, even more than comics, was like tabletop games. The open gaming license was basically a contract and a promise between Wizards of the Coast and the community about how you can use things as to create your own process and stuff like that. All this jazz, all of that's been stated and stuff. There's been leaked versions of a new open gaming license called 1.1, which is attempting to state things like, hey, once we publish this, all previous open gaming licenses no longer are valid, and other things like that. And it just, it's bad. It's not good. Wizards of the Coast has basically functioned for 30 years and longer based on the community it built up over that time, and it seemingly just burning the house down around it constantly. Like that seems to be its plan constantly at this point.
Don't do it. Why?
Exactly. So, yeah.
Let us know what you guys think if you have any opinions.
Absolutely. It'll be interesting. There's other big D&D things happening, which this has the potential to like either overshadow or undercut pretty badly, because Honor Amongst Thieves is coming out soon.
I know, but you know what? I was wondering if that, of course, that's got to be why they're starting to think about how they can.
Well, the way this thing is set up is it's like, hey, anything that you make, you owe us royalties on, and I'm like, there are massive streamers out there, and also there's things like,
Right.
hey, we have a license to anything you make as well. Like we have you don't have an option to get rid of our license to your intellectual property if you make it. Yeah. And so, it's not good. It's not good at all.
Wow.
But there are already boycott calls for Honor.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure. So. That's crazy.
Well, it's brutal.
That's all the news for this week then, and I'm sure you got some good comics for us.
I do have some good comics.
Do you have some comics?
Not a lot, but I do have some fun
kicking
ones.
The thing. Sorry, everybody. Like, hey, what's happening?
Look, my camera has been doing it all this time as well. Don't worry. But yes, we do have some comics this week. First up.
Oh yeah, let me add. Boop. It's just like magic.
Hey, it's Wasp. Wasp #1. We are following Janet, the original Wasp, and Nadia, who has been the most recent Wasp. And Janet has done a lot. She's been fashion designer. She's been a business. She is a founding Avenger. She's got lots of history in the Marvel universe. When she is being attacked, however, by an old enemy that's seemingly against that enemy's will, she has to get to the bottom of the mystery with Nadia, and they'll have to confront ghosts in their shared past.
Oh, fun. There you go.
Yeah, we've got Al Ewing, who is done Immortal Hulk and X-Men Red, and being drawn by Cassian Nye, who did Mockingbird and the Age of Conan Ballet comics. But this is really fun. Wasp is 60. Wasp is 60 this year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
No way.
Mm-hmm.
Twice the age of the Power Rangers.
I know, right? Yeah. Okay, and then weirdly, we had not really any #1s out of DC this week. We've had all the Lazarus Planet stuff happening, guys. So those are all one-shots or anthology vignette comics. So I would go take a look at it, but I don't have the ability to go, follow that. You know me. Only #1s here. With that being said, coming out of that, we next have out of Image Comics Immortal Sergeant, being written by Joe Kelly and drawn by Ken Nomura. This is the team who created I Kill Giants, which was award-winning. Great comic. Jim Sargent, aka Sarge, has got an unwelcome retirement coming up, but he's an old school grizzled detective, and he's caught a break on a murder that has been haunting his entire career. Unfortunately, he must drag his anxiety-riddled adult son Michael along if he wants to keep a hold of this lead. Can this dysfunctional duo overcome their own hang-ups, blind spots, and secrets to catch a killer? Who knows? I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, I Kill Giants was fun and weird, but who knows? We're interesting. Next up, this comes from a company that I actually generally refuse to bring up. I don't talk about Keenspot. I don't talk about Keenspot all that often. If you don't know why, don't worry about it. But Tim Seeley, good enough writer that I thought, you know what, we'll see what he's got. But this is a guy who's done Rest of Sundown and has done Hack Slash. He's putting the spotlight on his original character Lucky, who was created in as a part of the Super Beasts team from a vignette he wrote 2 years ago. But Lucky's fun ability is that she just steals all of the luck of everyone around her, which made it a bit problematic for her to be on a team of superheroes, because she doesn't have control over whose luck she steals, just everybody's. So she has refused to use her power for 2 years. She's been stubbornly, she's down on the, at rock bottom because of that. She's, got a plot by an old nemesis to assassinate her former teammates. So now she's going to have to come to terms with her dangerous ability and go solo.
Oh,
yeah,
solo
indeed. But like I said, Tim Seeley, great creator. So I'm excited to see where this will go. Next up, out of Aftershock, Maniac of New York. Voodoo, I don't know if you've read Maniac of New York or anything about this, but this is horror satire comics, and they are hilarious.
Don't call it a comeback?
Don't call it a comeback. Yes. The Maniac of New York, Maniac Harry, the seemingly unstoppable killer, has finally been stopped.
Oh, snap.
The city has celebrating. The mayor is taking all the credit, and the Maniac Task Force director, Gina Green, last seen slicing the Maniac's head open, has disappeared to parts unknown. Detective Zelda Pettibone must pick up the pieces of a life that's suddenly so empty, she almost wishes the Maniac was back.
Oh.
And unfortunately, sometimes wishes come true. There's a new Maniac. It's not who you're expecting. Stay out of the Central Park and stay away from cable news because something terrifying is on the loose.
It's going to be a plot twist. Although you
Absolutely.
got rid of the Maniac, you wanted the Maniac back so bad that you became the Maniac.
Who knows? Exactly. Yeah, it's a lot of hilarity. This is horror satire, and it's perfect. Perfect.
Horror satire at its finest.
Indeed. Next up, we have the next arc of Barbaric coming out. Issue 1. Now, this will be about 4 issues out of Vault Comics. Barbaric basically tells the story of Owen the Barbarian, who has been cursed by a witch to do good. He has to do good. And now he is...
cursed to do good.
Yes. That axe right there currently being wielded by this girl, that's his talking axe that has to, like, guide him, and he follows the axe's instructions. So he does good by cleaving skulls as necessary. He hasn't really got any new skills. He's just maybe using them in a different way. But this is a new arc. It's hell to play, and Owen has tamed a dragon. Soren and Steel must cross paths with someone else from the cursed barbarian's past. So, someone else is wielding axe right now. Owen has a dragon and needs to go to hell. It's crazy. It'll be a lot of fun. And this is going to be a bit bigger. Normally there are 3 issues, and this will be 4.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh,
this
right.
Is pretty, but
this
also,
is pretty.
Is that blood, or is that?
It's blood. It's definitely blood. It's supposed to be look like cherry blossoms, but it's definitely blood.
See, that's why I was like, oh, this is pretty and also dark.
Yeah. It is, because it's being written by, just straight first thing you should know, it's being written by Eric Nguyen. If you didn't know Eric Nguyen wrote Old Man Logan and Strange Girl. But Old Man Logan's what you should think about because, that's a dark comic and very ridiculous. There's an ancient prophecy for a village in Japan that foretells of an outsider that would save the village of Inoki from an unstoppable army. A man who would confuse the people at first with his unconventional ways, but lead them to the light. Nathan Guerin, captain of the United States Army, known for his viciousness in battle on the American frontier, could be that man. If he weren't such an awful, drunken idiot. Now it's up to Japanese-American teacher Todd Parker to warn the good people of Inoki of Guerin's true nature before he causes the very death and destruction they are counting on him to avert. Yeah, I mean, trope subversion is always one of my favorite things, so subverting the white fit savior trope, excellent choice. Go. Good job. And then finally, our last comic for this week, not for kids.
Last but not least.
This is a mature title. It is Dune House Harkonnen. This is another adaptation of one of the Dune prequel titles, written originally by Brian Herbert and Kevin J. Anderson. They're adapting their own novel for this. Artist Michael Scheffler has done Domino before and is doing the art for this. They're looking at the rising conflict between the years of, early on before we got to Dune and before we got to Arrakis, Gurney Halleck, Lady Jessica, Leto Atreides and Baron Harkonnen, their whole history before, as Baron Harkonnen, plots not against just the House Atreides of Leto, but the Bene Gesserit themselves and the Emperor, all of that. So, House Harkonnen, dark story, like clearly they're the bad guys in the new, but they're not. It's just a very complex universe in general. So
everything is always more complex than, good and bad is relative.
Absolutely, absolutely. But yeah, that's Dune House Harkonnen. So that's our final comic this week. Like I said, it's pretty quiet. Not a huge number of number ones in general.
I'm sure people are excited about the Dune coming out, especially because of the movie. I don't know how the movie was received, but I enjoyed it.
Oh, I loved the first movie. Yeah. Stacy, who is huge Dune fan, loved it.
Loved it. There's something about it. Like whenever somebody who's read the books or is a huge fan of something and then see it in another media and they're still a fan, that always makes me feel good because, it's like,
I mean, like anything Dune, Stacy will generally fall in love with. Doesn't matter.
It's so funny because I think of like Aragon, and I hadn't read the books before that movie came out, and I watched the movie. And I thought the movie was so good, I had to read the books. And when I read the books, I was appalled by the movie and was like, I will never watch this again. It was horrible. But it got me into the books, so I can't complain.
I mean, yeah, that's fair. Like, don't get me wrong. It's like World War Z. Like, weirdly enough, World War Z, actually a great movie. But it is also specifically called after a book series that was brilliantly done. Like a brilliant concept book that was not the movie at all. Like, the movie World War Z, great zombie movie. The book World War Z, great zombie story. But they're not the same, and they get compared to each other instead. And it's tragic because they're both really good.
Right, in their own right.
Yeah.
So, well, thanks for joining us tonight.
Hey, everyone.
It's a highlight of our week. So don't forget to like, comment, share. You guys commented a lot tonight, and that was fun. Makes it really fun when we get to interact, not just with each other, but also with you. So we appreciate it. And we will see you guys live next week. And yeah, Voodoo, we'll see you over at your stream either tomorrow or Saturday. And then I saw Goog's on here too. I believe he streams tomorrow. So we share those on Tales from the Geek. So go check them out. And anyway, we will see you next week live at 7:25 Central Time on Tuesday.
Bye.